Hello, welcome to Connections Realty Group and Friends. And I have my friend with me, Mr. Demetrius Lockett.
Mhm.
And guys, we have another great topic coming to you. But before we get started, Demetrius, please tell everybody who you are.
I am Sam and Sheila's son, Demetrius, but what I do for a living is I do mortgages. I help families to be able to purchase the dream home, to educate them, to get them through the process, and to celebrate the victory with them. Been
All
doing
right.
it for 30 years
30 years. That's what
now.
I'm talking about. And what company are you with?
I'm with Southeast Mortgage,
Okay. Okay.
which is the second largest in the Southeast
All right. So
license.
so we have the right man sitting next to
Absolutely.
me, guys. Y'all know how I do. So today, real quick, y'all, we know y'all on your lunch break or your nightcap, whatever you're on. We wanted to bring this to you really quick, and we wanted to talk about renting versus buying,
That's important. That's
right?
very important.
I know there are some people who may be fearful, thinking that the home purchase is a lot more. So, what I want to do is have me and Demetrius chop it up about renting versus buying. And first, we're going to go with this. I'm going to start.
Okay.
You're already paying to live somewhere,
They're already paying a mortgage. You mean?
right? They're
Yeah.
just not there,
Exactly.
right? So what we want to do is give you some things to think about why you should be paying your mortgage instead of rent. Okay. Now, one of the things I know for sure, and we've all been talking about affordable housing right now.
Right.
Rent is high. $1,700, you still in the hood.
Yeah, that's the average. That's the average rent right now in
That's the
Atlanta.
average hood. Okay. Now, when you bump it up a few more $100,
Right.
2,000, 2,200
Yeah.
is where we're seeing people rent. And I know some people like, I wish, but I'm just saying, right? People who doing all right.
Right.
So what does $2,200 or $2,300 look like if someone decided to purchase?
That's good. I think that's important too, because but I think also, Stephanie, we've got to make a moment, and hopefully we'll do this shortly, but make a moment to talk about what is buying and why it's important.
Right, absolutely. Oh,
Because it's
we
not
definitely
just
will. Right,
okay.
right. But that's why I just wanted to start on the simple, you're paying all right.
Right.
So
So
it's not like you're doing something different.
different. You're just going to get a whole bunch more advantages, which we'll talk
So we're
about
gonna talk about
shortly.
right.
But if you're paying $2,000, you could be living in a $300,000 property.
All right. I love that.
And be mindful, which we'll also talk about, if you're paying that amount in a mortgage, it looks a lot different than paying that amount in rent at the end of the year because you're actually giving yourself a tax benefit.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to talk about because we want to give people the benefit of why you should not be renting. And again, you have to wait till you're ready because there's some responsibility that comes with that.
Absolutely.
But I don't think some people know.
Some
So
people think it's just some place to live, and it's not
let me tell
just some place
I
to
need to
live.
let people know. You know, a lot of people send their kids through college because of the equity in their house.
Mm.
Now, just imagine if
Start
you can take
businesses.
whatever money you're already spending it on rent, you could take that same money and pay it in a mortgage. So you still got somewhere to stay with the same money. But at some point, you can now take money out of this, the same monies to pay
Do
for
whatever you want to
college.
do.
What did you say? Start a
Home
business?
improvement, starting a business. So it's almost like a bank account. You're getting a house, a bank account at the same time. It's all I've always found this to be such a weird industry that it's one of the few things that I know where you can buy an asset, use it for years, and get your money back.
Using
That's
this
crazy. It's
right,
almost like you're living for free.
right, listen,
It's
and using
crazy.
the same money that you once spent anyway. So this isn't like I
Yeah,
gotta give me some money to invest. You already have the money because you're already renting.
absolutely.
And I think that's something in so many communities miss because there's been a misnomer
Absolutely.
about that. And I got to tell you, it is the first step to generational wealth.
It absolutely is. It absolutely is. And I'm so pleased that you're doing a segment like this because while home ownership is important for everybody, I originally was in this industry because it's my ministry and I wanted to see more people that perhaps didn't normally buy homes be able to enjoy the legacy and the joy of home ownership. When I
Absolutely.
started, it was right at about 40% minority brown people owning owning homes. We're still not past.
Y'all, we got to do better. And again, y'all gonna hear me say this several times. You're already spending the money. You don't have to get a pool of money. You don't have to. So now the question becomes understanding that and not getting caught up in, I just want my dream house. Nobody starts at the dream. Well, I won't say nobody. Very few
Very few
people
people.
start at the dream house.
And you know, and that's true, but more importantly than that, you don't even know what the dream is. If you've never had a house, how do you know it's important that there's a window in your kitchen? Or how do you know you wanted higher ceilings than you ever even imagined? So it takes time.
Yeah,
It's
because the
building, right?
imagination, but the imagination be getting y'all in trouble. But that's gonna be another show. Because I'm gonna tell you, if I hear one more woman say, "I want me a big tub that I can, take long baths in," girl, I don't even use my tub
I
because I
was
don't want
just
to
getting
in
ready
there.
to say, I know so many people that have said that. My mom, they don't even.
Because we gotta clean it out. You gotta reach all the way in. Listen, it's not cracked up to me with
But
you.
even if you find a house that you absolutely love that doesn't have one, you can add.
Absolutely. So that's what I'm saying,
That's
y'all.
the great
So
part about buying a house. You can do whatever you want.
absolutely. And again, I promise you, the money that you're automatically building, and it's not the dollar for dollar that you put in, it's the equity. I'm going to share this with y'all, what I've seen.
And when you say equity, you mean what's that?
The equity in the house that you paid this, but now the value of the house is this.
So the amount they get to own
Right. Absolutely.
every time
And,
they
I,
make a payment. Yeah, I
and I'm
like
going to
that.
give you
I
this
like that.
scenario. And sometimes, like I said, it's not dollar for dollar. It's even more than that if you sell and pay attention and do it at the right time, right?
You're an expert at
Most
that.
people who bought 3 years ago, including myself, have probably
Tell it.
over 150 to $200,000, depending on the price point,
Mhm.
in equity in 3 years. Where you do that at? You
But, but
don't.
but think about this. 3 years ago was what?
20,
220, right?
220,
And I
20.
can give you a list of people that said, I'm just going to wait. I'm gonna wait till the prices come down or the rates come down, or I don't know when there's the full moon eclipse. I don't know what they're waiting for, but where else have you taken any amount of money 3, 4, 5, 7 years ago and watched that turn into tens or sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars
Absolutely. And I
just from
gotta tell
living?
right. And I gotta tell you for what you're gonna pay for it anyway. Now, I watched last year tons and tons of average folk. Because y'all keep that, I'm gonna get in the real estate, I'm gonna flip houses. I'm gonna before you get to flip and buy you one that you can just stay in, that's not gonna cost you any more than you already spending.
Right?
Because let me say this, Demetrius, I watch tons of average working people
Mhm,
buy houses for just somewhere to live. But last year decided to sell.
mhm.
Maybe because they were upgrading, maybe because they got married and now both of them had a house and were walking away with like over $100,000. You work for 30 years and don't walk away with 100.
Say it. True.
I'm gonna tell y'all, we put y'all up on game. I don't care what else you do, but one thing you need to do, you almost better do, you better buy your house.
It changes the family in so many ways.
Absolutely. And
Not
it'll change your retirement.
and your perspective.
Absolutely. I'm telling y'all, you won't go wrong. So get
And it'll
rid of
change
the
your
fear
children. It'll change your children.
because then they're going to do what they see.
They're gonna do what they see, and they're gonna have a whole different understanding of community.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, y'all, we know that was a lot
Mhm.
because we told y'all what y'all need to be doing. Y'all talk about your portfolio and all of that. You got to first start with your own house. I promise you,
Absolutely.
is the best investment that you will make with a great return. But we're going to go for a quick commercial break. And we'll be right back.
See you in a minute.
If you're looking for a realtor who's patient, caring, knowledgeable, who's an expert negotiator, and doesn't quit until the job is done, then you're looking for my favorite realtor, Stephanie Thomas, whose motto is, it's not about being ready, it's about getting ready.
We are back. I'm here with my friend Demetrius Lockett. And guys, we're just talking about renting versus buying. And we want you to understand the investment that you
Right.
make. So one of the other things I think that holds people back, again, we talked about the dream house,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Demetrius, let's talk about what will help you get to the dream house, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because this is what I've been seeing.
Okay.
When you're in your 20s and you don't have children, even if you do, but I'm just saying, you move into this little townhouse that might have, you can't find those now, but let's just say only cost you 100,000 because you were going to live in an apartment anyway.
Right. Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you decide to get married, and we just talking about the American dream, right? You sell this house. You paid 100, but if you sell right, this house probably worth 175, and now you've been paying on it for whatever amount of years.
Right.
You don't even owe 100.
Mm.
So now you sell it for 175. Let's say now you only paid it down to 75, but you sold it for 175. You get to walk away with $100,000
Wow.
to now put on your next house.
It's important to be strategic. It is very important to be strategic.
That's why I'm really pushing for people in their 20s
Mm-hmm.
to purchase parents. Let's stop. We'll be pushing them out the house. So let's keep doing that part. But instead of pushing them just into an apartment, and I know sometimes you got to do baby steps.
Right. Right.
But let's not let them stick there. Let's then help them get a little condo, and whether they sell it or rent it is an investment.
Let me share with you what a couple parents did. I went to school here in Atlanta. I went to Morehouse, and so a lot of times parents that I know will send their kids here. Well, a couple parents did this, and I was so excited. I thought, why haven't I been talking about this before? They bought a house with their child.
Mm.
And when you do that, most people think investment property, I've got to put a whole bunch of money down. But if your child is on the mortgage, you only have to put 3.5% down. And so now both the parent and the child now have a piece of their first investment property. And think of all of the lessons that they're teaching that child about homeownership is not that difficult, that you can do it, about maybe renting out some rooms to other students. It's just amazing. Now you have, in this one particular case, the student rented out 2 of the other bedrooms, and those 2 rents paid for the mortgage.
I'm gonna
So
tell
he's paying the utilities. It's
people
crazy.
always
And getting
need-
all the equity
Right.
and all the tax advantages and all the lessons. So
Listen, this is the game. But again, if you don't have a lot of money, I'm not talking about those flipping classes and all of that.
right.
You can simply do this and
Everyday
come up,
people.
y'all.
Everyday people.
So y'all, again, I want you to call Demetrius. I want you to call him and say, Stephanie said to call you to get my blueprint. Let us help you get there
Absolutely.
today. It's not about being ready. It's about getting ready and knowing what you need to do so that when you get to, when your lease is up, you can do what you want to do.
And
At least have the option.
And there's only really one person that can tell you that, and that's your loan officer. Because we need to pull your credit. And don't be scared about that. So many people are, but don't be scared. Knowledge is power. It does not cost anything to talk to me. All you get is information, and I'm glad to give it to you for free.
I love it. Y'all, get your information today. Again, call Demetrius, get your blueprint. I don't care if your credit score is 480. I want you to know the lower it is, the faster it go up. Okay. So call Demetrius. Demetrius, give me your information so they can call you.
I am at 404-396-7445.
All right. All right. We're going to put that information up on the screen so y'all can get it. And again, y'all, I'm hanging out. This is Connection Realty Group and Friends. And Demetrius Lockett was my friend today. All right, y'all. We out of here. Go back to work.